Hey there, how we doing? It's Gary and Andrea again, back for a little marriage nugget for the week.
Yes, no chicken strips here, just little nugs.
Just little nugs. You just get to choose your own, whatever.
Dipping sauce.
Dipping sauce as you like. Yeah. But hey, we want to talk a little bit about maybe just some crazy stuff that comes out of your mouth. And have you ever had some things maybe you said that have been taken out of context, or maybe, have you ever, I know, Andrea is like the queen of saying, oh yeah, let's just say hot mess, whatever. You put your own hashtag there.
Okay.
But I want you to tell our audience a crazy story, and we got many, but so we just chose the one, and we
have
were
a little fun.
We're gonna have a little fun tonight. But yes. we were at a restaurant. And just tell the story.
Okay, so many years ago, when I had contact lenses, we were at an Olive Garden with the fam.
Yeah.
Contact popped out. All of us were on the floor looking for it.
Including waitresses and waiters. Yes. Everyone's
looking for it because it's one of those gas permeable that they're like $130. I mean, they're very expensive, so I didn't want to lose one.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we were leaving the restaurant, couldn't find it. This gentleman from another table, he came up very concerned and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Sure." I said, we just lost contact. And he goes, "Oh, I thought you lost your glass eye." And I got such a chuckle out of that. I thought that was hilarious. And so we were just cackling about that. And so on the way home, we got this call from some family in Kearney, Missouri, to come visit because they had some relatives from out of town that were visiting, and they said, "We want to introduce you real quick." So we're like, okay. So
never seen them.
We go over there, and there's probably 10 people we've never met.
Yeah.
Distant aunts,
uncles.
It's
weird. I still don't know how that all happened, but yeah. But anyway, we get there.
We get there, and so I start sharing this story, and I get rolling.
Oh, she's like the master thespian at this moment. It is
beautiful.
I go
into how I don't have a glass eye, and I'm a pirate, and ahoy matey. And
you start growling. She starts limping across the room.
Oh, I worked it again.
I'm telling you, major award.
Went on and on for probably 10 minutes on this whole pirate thing.
Classic.
And it just had a good giggle. And anyway, said goodbye, left. And so on the way home, we get a text from one of the family saying, "Just so you know, cousin so-and-so that was in the room has a glass eye." So what is the likelihood of that happening?
I know.
A crowd of 10, I usually know my audience.
I know, when you're in character.
Oh my gosh. I know. So needless to say, I apologize. I said, "I'm so sorry. Please let them know."
You weren't making fun. You were just in the moment, It just tickled you.
Can't take me anywhere.
No. Yeah. And you got many others.
Oh, we'll save them. If this little season lasts for another 3-4 weeks, I got lots of them. So we won't run out. Don't you worry.
But tonight,
I'm here for your entertainment.
I know, tonight though. So all that's being said, all that tonight, we're going to talk about the power of our words. Because we're spending more time together, and we may find out that there's words that we don't like. There's just things we don't like to say, and there's anger, and there's frustration, there's
We call that what?
We call that intense fellowship, yeah.
You're welcome to use that.
Yeah, instead of a fight or instead of an argument, we just say it's intense fellowship because we just know that we're not going to agree on everything, but we want to, maybe as we do this, kind of bring it together, and we want to make sure that we're protecting each other. I was just reading this morning, and I want to script this verse, but it's Proverbs 21:23. It is out of the Message, and it says this. He says, "Let's watch our words. Hold your tongue. It will save yourself a lot of grief."
That needs to be my life verse.
It could let's put it on the pillow. Just watch your tongue. Yes. It'll save you some grief. One of the more famous passages that many of you guys know, if there's any that are not infamous, in the Bible, but James 1 talks about we should be quick to listen, we should be slow to speak English, and we should be slow to become angry. And I think that's good because, we do. A lot of times we get quick-tempered, and especially when we lack of patience, we just want to, immediately respond. And there's a lot of times in our relationships that we want to, there's two ways that we listen. We either listen to respond, or we listen to actually receive what the other person is saying. Yes. And I know that makes common sense, but a lot of people aren't doing this. And so they listen to respond because they've been hurt, or they want to get even, or they don't want to be, questioned, or they don't want to be, challenged. And so a lot of this is that they're listening to respond, and they're not even hearing what the other person has to say. Yeah, do you agree with that?
Of course.
Yeah. So anyway, we just realized that all of us are playing this game of, if you're going to hurt me, I might hurt you back a little bit. Yeah.
So just this week, we heard this little nugget about, so these intense fellowships, we're going to call them fires, like a little spark that has a fire. And they were talking about, what do you bring to that fire? Do you bring water to help extinguish the fire? Or some of you bring gasoline.
Oh,
You want to blow that sucker up.
just nuke the bridge.
Yeah. And so just to be aware of, because obviously intense fellowship's going to happen.
Yeah.
And am I bringing water or gasoline?
Yeah.
Good to think about it.
Yeah. And since we're all closer together, the opportunities are going to happen more frequently in there. So, our daughter Bailey, she's out in Northern California.
Hey, Bells.
Hey, Bells, how you doing? They had last year, actually 2 years ago, I guess it was called the Car Fire.
CARR.
Yeah, because it happened on Car Road, or that's what it generated out of.
County or something.
Yeah, but anyway, just check this out.
Yeah.
Car Fire, it cost them like $1.7 billion. It took over 1,000 homes. And it consumed, I don't know if you knew this or not, almost 360 square miles of just pure destruction. Now put this in perspective. OG, the Oak Grove, yes, 6.2 square miles. Blue Springs, 22 square miles. Let's go out to Independence. Independence, 78 square
We're proud
miles.
to be from Independence.
I know. Here we are
We've
on the
got
cusp. Very good. But I mean, think about that. 6 miles, 22. This thing consumed 360 miles. It's like going from Oak Grove to Concordia, and you can go 10 miles on either side of 70 and just nuke it all. That's what this fire did. And it was all started because of a flat tire. Somebody was driving their car along, got a flat tire, and the spark off the rim hit the asphalt and later consumed 360 square miles and $1.7 billion later. And so a lot of times we talk about, it's just words, we get over it quickly, it's not that big a deal. We always have this playful banter. Well, it's not okay, because at the end of the day, James, back in this whole deal, he tells us in chapter 3, he says, your tongue is a fire. And he says, matter of fact, he said in verse 5, he says, consider the great forest and how that it is set on fire with such a small spark. I'm telling you, folks, I mean, we don't want to set our families on fire with our words. We don't want to nuke our families because of things we say, because we can't take those words back. I mean, they're out there and they create pain and hurt. And I just don't want us to do that anymore. So anyway, well, anyway, so let me just land the plane here. I'm going to challenge us that our words are going to be not destructive, but constructive. I'm going to encourage you that your words, and when you're doing this, you're doing it to receive what they have to say and not respond. And then finally, I'm going to ask you guys, let's be quick to forgive and not quick to hold a grudge. I think that's where we need to kind of land this tonight.
Yeah, we heard this other nugget this week that, forgive me if I sound not so smart right now, but they were saying that, of course, your spouse is the one person that you're going to have to forgive the most. And I'd never thought of that.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
I know. But it's kind of like with car insurance, they say that most car accidents happen within 1 or 2 mile radius of your home. It's because that's where you travel the most. Well, we travel the most together. We are together the most. So it makes sense that I'm going to have to forgive him the most, more than anybody else. And you're going to have to forgive me because I'm not perfect. Y'all know that. You're not perfect.
Oh, no. No, stop.
Perfect for me.
Oh, there you go.
But how, we just do it. I know there's big offenses and little offenses, but let's be quick to forgive.
Yeah. Because at the end of the week, if you guys could just do this, and let's stop here, is that just realize that every word that comes out of your mouth, have this filter say, is this building your spouse, building your kids up, or is these words tearing them down? if you could just land on that one thing and say, is what I'm about to speak going to be encouraging or discouraging? I think right there, if you're able to answer that question before it comes out that filter, your family is going to be in a much better position in that intense fellowship moment than they were if you were not apply that filter. So, because our thing too, we said this in our premarital counseling, our pastor said to us, says, Gary and Andrea, I don't want you to be a statistic, but he says, I want you to do more than just survive your marriage. He says, I want you to thrive, not just survive.
Yes.
And so for you too, this is our whole mission, is that we should not just be settling on the goal during this time together of just hanging in there by a thread, but let's see if we could use this time to actually grow our relationships.
Be water.
Yeah.
Not gasolina.
Pour into them, and let's see if we can come on the other side thriving.
Agua.
Good?
No gasolina en el tanque.
That's it.
That was for Hannah.
All right. Love you guys.
Okay.
We'll see you next week. See ya. Bye-bye.